Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of On the DL. I am Danielle.
And I'm Linda.
Hello, hi. How are you?
I'm tired today. I had so many things to do. It's always like my day off that I have a million and one things to do.
What'd you
that
do?
I'm running around. Well, I woke up. I decided to take a Pilates class in the morning, rushed home, ate as fast as I could. Like that's like when the inner hairdresser in me kicks in and I can consume a whole meal in 5 minutes. Like it didn't even exist.
Okay.
And then straight after that, I ran all the way to go get my facial. And then from my facial, I ran to my studio. I had to go pick up stuff and I had to stop at the beauty supply store. Then I had to shoot back down, do a client. Then I was like, ooh, I'm early for recording. So I started making my way here. And then I realized I forgot my set of clothes because I was running around and doing hair all day and I have hair on color all over me. So I had a separate bag. So then I ran home.
Oh,
I turned around and I went home and now I'm here.
you're so busy.
Yeah.
You're
And you know how like I haven't really been drinking? I could use a glass of wine tonight.
Ooh,
Sure.
that sounds fun. I don't have to go to practice tonight, so we can do that.
I love when you tell me stuff like that.
I gotta be honest, I haven't seen Linda in like a week. And
Literally.
I was like kind of sad about it. And she called me last night and we were like making dinner. And she's like, I just want to tell you that I like miss your voice. And I'm like, I miss you too. Like,
it was so weird because I went the entire week seeing so many people. And then when I was like thinking about it, I'm like, what the fuck is Danielle doing? Well, because like I wanted to come to your band, but honestly, I had a week that like I just wasn't home until nighttime and it was time to sleep. I had no time to do laundry, no time to clean anything or get anything organized. It was one of those weeks that I was like, I can only have Friday and Saturday to myself, and I think I need it. Like, and I did. I really needed it because this coming week's also going to be really busy for me.
yeah, I did. I mean, my week was pretty busy too. I was not home at all. The only time I was home was yesterday.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, I went to church.
Yeah, you said that when I called you, and I was like,
You're like, what now?
I like
what did you do?
scratched my head. I was like, interesting.
You know what? I'm not saying I'm coming back into the fold. You know, I am a former Catholic school
Dropout.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I like that. I'm going to start using that. I'm a
Catholic
former
school
Catholic school
Catholic
dropout.
school girly where like
Yeah.
religion genuinely got hammered into my head and I've kind of like rebelled against the religion and I've had somebody that's been very not so gently pushing me. Well, maybe you should just like give it a try. Maybe you should just like try it.
It is
And
good
I'm
to
like,
try. I think having faith in something, whatever it is, like that's what was always pushed onto me. It wasn't so much religion. It was more so because I grew up Roman Catholic too, but it was more so like, all right, if you don't want to believe in this, that's fine, but believe in something. Like having faith in something is really important.
and that is not a Roman Catholic thing to say.
No.
At all.
I
Because
also grew up in like a somewhat spiritual household.
okay.
It was like a lot more of like spirituality and like put it out into the universe and it'll come back. Like the you know the book The Secret?
Yes.
That was pounded into my head.
Okay.
Manifestation was drilled into
I
my
would have
that's why when-
preferred that.
That's why when people are like, just manifest, I'm like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because it's like the same thing, right? Like religion was drilled into your head.
Yeah.
Manifestation was drilled into my
Okay.
head. So I'm like, no, you need to work. Like I have like a gripe
Okay.
with manifestation.
Yeah,
Like I'm all for it, but there are layers that now nobody talks about.
I'm
You know what I mean?
sure, just like the layers of religion. But actually, when I did go to church, I think I'm going to go back because they said they're doing this like 4-part series, and I was there for like part 1. And there was one thing that this guy said, and it was long. Church is long.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I get really bored.
I was like this.
I get
was
really
trying.
bored with church.
I was trying so hard to listen, and I was like, I can't be disrespectful and pull out my phone. I can't do
No,
it.
no.
So I'm like trying to listen. So it was like I'd be like listening, and then I'd be like, do 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 do, like in my head.
And you're like, please talk about something that's more interesting.
I mean, everything like was making sense what he was saying, but there was this one thing in particular because he was talking about like how technology has advanced so fast in the last 15 years or 10 years or whatever, and how people are blaming technology for whatever they want to blame it for. And he's like, it's not the technology, it's the user.
For sure, yeah.
So I took that and I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, having like this epiphany as I'm sitting in church, and they have smoke machines in that church. It was a whole fucking thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm like sitting in this like smoky auditorium.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, oh my God, it's not the God, it's the people.
Yeah.
That's my issue. My
Yeah.
issue's not with God. My issue is with the fucking people that are
Yeah.
in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Well, remember when I said to you, so there was like a period of time where I always had like this weird relationship with God, or like I didn't believe in God, or I had like this strained relationship. And I was like, I said this to you like a few months ago. I was like, I like think like I finally like started talking to God, and I think like he's talking back, and I've created a relationship with God that I never ever had before. And it was like so weird. And I remember like saying it to you, and I was tiptoeing. I was like, I think I'm like talking to God and stuff, like
And
not
I'm
in like a
kinda
weird
like-
way, but it was funny because I was saying to you, I was like, it's like your God. It's the way that we were raised is so different from, being told have a relationship with your God. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just so different. Like my father, pushing like believe in something. You know what I mean? Have faith in something.
And that's good. I was
And
not
he always
that
say like
way.
pray or meditate. They're both
Just
go
yeah,
hand
just
in
do
hand.
something.
It's
See, I
just
wish I would
something.
have grown up like that, because it was like you either do it like this or you're not correct.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
You're
don't get me
wrong.
wrong. Like I still have family members that, if they ever heard of this, they'd be like, how dare you? No,
Yeah,
it's
no,
about
the Roman
Jesus Christ."
Catholics
I'm
are
like,
crazy, man.
well, they are.
Let me
And
tell
it's like,
you.
there's a lot of things that it resonates with me. Like there's times where I've sat in church and heard a gospel and I was like in tears. 'Cause I'm like, wow, that really moved me. But like you said, like I've had, a priest where, I loved his gospels because he was with the times. Like he knew he wasn't going up there and be like, this is who you should vote for in the next primary. You know what I mean? Like he was talking some real life stuff, and like that would resonate with me. And I mean, there's so many different things that we can go to now and explore religion wise that I've definitely finally opened that door. This like the end of this past year, I definitely finally opened that door because that door has been closed for a really long time.
Well, that's good. I'm not saying I'm diving in. Let me
So
stop.
maybe I'll like join you because
You-
I'm not diving
absolutely.
in either.
I'm not. Yeah, we're just dipping our toes.
You're a whole ass step ahead of me, bitch. You went to church.
Well, it's just because I have a person that's like in my ear about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fine, I'll go. If there ever was a day for you to take me, it's today, because I have an open mind. So like, let's go. Do I have to take
feel
a
good
shower?
today.
Do I have to take a shower right now or no?
You're lucky. I slept 8 hours and 3 minutes. Let's go.
And
And you got me a bagel.
and I have that's what it was. I was like, I have an open mind today. Let's just go. Like before I change my mind.
Yeah, hurry up.
Let's go.
And my dad used to do that to me. He would be like, can I do X, Y, and Z? He's like, oh, sure. And I would like take too long to get ready. Hurry up before I change my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
and you gotta
Yeah.
like hurry up and scramble. You're like, no.
But that's the
I'm
truth.
trying to do it as fast as possible.
There's like a window of time,
Yeah.
like right here. And if you don't make it in that window, you're asked out, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So, anyways, I wasn't meaning to talk about God on this episode,
Hey,
but
I
like
think it's
that's
kinda
cool.
cool.
Like this is just the journey that I'm on, I guess. Right now, we'll see what happens. We might chronicle it. We might not. I might never talk about it again. Who knows?
There you go.
What I wanted to talk about today, and we did put a question up on our Instagram. It's, what is your Roman Empire? So like, if you don't know, the Roman Empire was like this trend, or asking about the Roman Empire was a trend like the end of last year on TikTok. And girlfriends were asking their boyfriends, hey babe, like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
And I think the reason why it took the internet by storm, because we were all so surprised as to how often.
Yeah, there was men that were saying they think about it every day. They think about it once a week, at least 3 or 4 times a month, or like, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
what do
what
you
the fuck?
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're thinking about the Roman Empire. And it kind of, it was like cute and funny, and we poked fun at them a little bit. And if you're thinking about the Roman Empire, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta. But
Listen,
then that kind of,
it is what it is.
that kind of sparked another thing where, what would your Roman Empire be? Like, what do you think about randomly? And it doesn't even have to be something so random. It can just be like something that you think about often. And I know a lot of us right now are struggling. I mean, everything's like so expensive: groceries, gas, rent. People are starting to get priced out of their houses.
It's scary.
So, I
happening.
mean, you could really be thinking about anything. So we got a couple of responses from our Instagram, but I want to ask you, what is your Roman Empire?
So I had to think about this. Right?
We're thought provoking here, love.
Because I know this sounds silly, but I was asking a lot of people so I can get an idea of
Like what you should be thinking about.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, I think about something really not that smart. But I think my Roman Empire, I take it as like, what is something that you always think about?
Yeah.
Like, what is a thing that's like permanently in my head, and it pops up. Mine is the afterlife.
Okay.
Mine is I visualize this weird random black hole. And I don't know
that
what
it sucks you in.
Yeah,
That's scary.
Sucks you in, throws shit out.
Damn.
And then I think I'm like, is that where we go? Like it honestly takes over my mind far more than I'd like to admit. But yeah, I think about that a lot. I always think about like, do I come back as a tree? Do I come back like I have some clients who are like I have this one client, she's a Taiwanese Buddhist.
Okay.
And so she loves like diving into like spirituality and religion and stuff. And sometimes when she says things like, oh, that person's in your life because you didn't finish your karma with that person, or like that person, is no longer in your life because you finished your karma with that person, or, you're way ahead of your time. I've always been told like, you're way ahead of your time. You know what I mean? Oh, you've lived many lives. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean?
It's like an old soul.
Yeah. So I was always like, I look at it in a sense of like, on the day to day, my Roman Empire is like, oh, this is what's happening to me because it's probably something from my past life, or this is what could potentially happen to me in the past life. So I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then I fly off the rails. I'm like, we're all going to die anyway. The lights turn off. Fuck it. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like all over the place. Fuck it, we ball. Like, what? Like, I die and the lights turn off. And everybody has their own, especially going back to religion, like everybody has their own thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But mine definitely sits there. Like, it's always something different, but at least once, twice a week, I think about the afterlife.
I mean, that's definitely something that, I mean, especially with the loss that I had, last year, almost a year and a half now. I think about that a lot. Yeah. And it's so weird because like, I always thought, like, I know that there's an afterlife in my brain. Every part of me just knows that this is not it. It's not like the lights go out and you only see black. But I did have a conversation with somebody the other night about how even if that's it, even if it's just black and that's the end, then that's the end. Then that's it. You won't even know. What are we scared of? Like that's what I was saying.
It's the fear of the unknown.
I don't believe that it's lights out and that's the end, because we're all made of energy, right?
Yeah.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just keeps going. So I think reincarnation is actually a very valid thing.
I think it's the one that probably resonates with me the most.
Or if you choose to not get reincarnated, I feel like when you pass, and there's this person that I follow that talks a lot about like past life regression, where you can like go under hypnosis and you can like hear about past lives that you've had, but like that really, really deep hypnosis, and like people that have died and they're back and
I have chills.
They say, you were kind of like outside of your body and you can see everything that's going on.
I feel like you'd be opening a portal. That's what scares me, is opening portals.
Maybe
being open-minded to that kind of stuff. I'm like, ooh, I want to play around, but like, no, I don't actually want to
No,
play
I
around.
really want to do the past life regression thing. I want to know.
I would get like a little scared because I'm like, what if there was somebody evil, and what if I was someone evil at some point?
Well, if that happens and the karma thing is a real thing, then you have to kind of atone for whatever you had done in a past life.
Oh, I'm feeling that.
So I
get that.
I think that it all comes around, all of it. It's like a cycle. It's karma. It's energy. Whatever you want to call it. If it's God, whatever. But that's the thing. So I do think about that. I don't know if that's like my Roman Empire, but I definitely think about that often. And actually, that was one of the answers on our Instagram question. And then actually, someone wrote Princess Diana, which I was like, you're like thinking about Princess Diana a lot.
Well, I think because right. The reason why when I saw Princess Diana, I was like, you know what's so strange? I think about Princess Diana a little too often as well.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. One, because of fashion. right?
Okay.
If I wear the tube socks with the cool sneakers and the shorts and a crew neck, I'm like, I look like Princess Diana right now. Like that is like, you know how like people like the butterfly haircut and you're like, that is a Jennifer Aniston haircut.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
know
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
talking about. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
Like that outfit, that aesthetic is Princess Diana.
Okay.
But then I also think about how like outspoken she was, and she's like, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. And then I think about how much I hate the royal family and how
For trying to
terrible
make her look bad. But you know what? She fought the
And I
the
also
royal
think that
family.
they killed her.
She
but
won.
that's like
Oh,
a whole different story.
They probably did. It's like another government conspiracy because they didn't want her to be the queen of anyone's hearts.
No, and she was a little too outspoken for them,
Oh, yeah, they don't like outspoken women.
especially divorced. Oh my God, they were like, take that bitch out.
Well, that her husband was a fucking philanderer. It was so stupid though. Why did he even marry her if he was in love with what's her face, Camilla?
Stupid.
Like
but, but I kind of I felt that when I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I'm not alone. Think about that a little.
I didn't think about Princess Diana. And then Helen Keller was another one.
That I do not think about. That was strange.
Yeah,
Silly question, but Helen Keller was one I couldn't see or hear, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Damn. Yes, that's who
It's just
it was.
making sure because there was like a lot of younger people in my history books that like couldn't see, couldn't hear, but like I know that one of them couldn't do both.
Also, what the Kardashian kids will be like when they're older.
I've thought about that a lot.
I think they're going to be little menaces or
Menaces are going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Or like they're going to be a spitting image of their parents. They're going to be what their parents are today.
That's really fucking scary, honestly.
That's exactly what they're going to be. It's like their own like little cult. Didn't Kris Jenner just open a church?
No, what?
Yeah, you got to look that up. I'm almost certain of that.
What is it? She's trying to just avoid taxes because I feel like that's the only way to avoid taxes
that
is
makes
opening a
kinda
church.
sense. Yeah.
Hold on, let me just Google really quick that Kris Jenner's church. Is it like another like?
Is it a conspiracy or is it real life? I forgot where I saw that, but I remember seeing something where they were like, "Oh, they just don't stop," and now Kris Jenner like open up a church. I'm like, no way.
What is the name of Kris Jenner's church? Jenner and Pastor Brad Johnson founded the California Community Church in 2012. It was originally called the Life Change Community Church, located in Agora Hills, California. Okay, so that's where she goes to church. I wonder if it's like the church that I went to, where it's like a stage and there's smoke machines. They have like a fucking 9-piece band. It's like a whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. I had no clue. Did she found a church? She did. Well, good for her. Maybe she's funneling funneling her money through the church so she doesn't have to. No, you're good. Pay taxes. You know what? You want to get your water bottle off the table?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, since you didn't ask, I'm just going to answer. If you want to hear my Roman Empire.
There was was that all of the ones that people said? Because I have one that people said.
Well, no, we can keep going over what people answered, and I have more answers for other people that could be kind of funny.
Okay, we'll do that.
But we could talk about my Roman Empire.
Okay, what is your Roman Empire?
Late stage capitalism. And
you do think about that a little.
Do you want to know what's funny is like I was thinking to myself, what's my Roman Empire? Like what do I think about a lot? And as I like think back to all the episodes and how many times that I've gotten so animated about these big billionaire corporations that are profiting so much off the backs of these employees. And, I talked about the strikes. And I talked about, the Super Bowl, Dunkin' Donuts spending $50 million. It is a fucking travesty what goes on. And I was looking up, I just needed to make sure that I was like saying it right. Late stage capitalism it describes the perceived evolution of capitalism into an advanced phase in which its inherent problems are so pronounced that it's become unsustainable. And I think that
why do you think it's gotten out of hand? Because I have a theory on why it's gotten out of hand. Because in theory, trickle down economics
it doesn't fucking work.
No, it doesn't work. But in theory, it makes sense. It
Of
doesn't
course,
work
but
because of greed.
You know what else
So
makes
just like
sense in theory?
communism, right? You look at communism.
It
and you're
makes
like,
sense in theory. It makes sense,
but it never
on paper.
works.
No, it doesn't. But it makes sense if you like write it all down. You're like, oh, these are all good points. This works.
Yeah, but it never works because of greed. Whether it's power or money, it's literally greed, and sometimes they go hand in hand.
Trickle down economics does not fucking work, and we can just thank Ronald Reagan for that.
Yeah, indeed,
my least favorite.
He's dead. Leave him alone. Just kidding.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
You sound like me when I talk about Bill Gates.
No, seriously, fuck that guy. He actually paved the way for people like Bill Gates. So let's just start there.
That's very true.
So anyways, it's late stage capitalism, and what I'm so bothered by on like a daily basis is the profits over people mentality.
Yeah.
The hustle culture, the work
but
yourself to death.
America. That's why
because of capitalism.
But that's why people came to America, because it's either you have the opportunity to make whatever you want.
But it's not. That's an illusion.
But it kind of is, but it isn't, because you go to any other countries, you look at these like socialist countries, they're never allowed to get further than where they are right now. In America, you can make as much as you want, right? Because they sell you the dream.
That's what it is. It's the dream.
The dream. You grow up saying, I could be whatever I want. I can make as much as I want. I can do whatever I want. With like a lot of other countries, you can't. And that's been the premise of America literally since forever, since the beginning of time.
But they let it get out of control. And
for sure,
it took a turn, and now mostly this country is run by corporations.
Yes.
Because of, the lobbyists and you're basically buying people's votes. It's ridiculous. But like, it's the notion to me, you're literally working yourself to death. And everything in America is commoditized. Is that the
commodities?
Word? Yeah. So the commodification of everything that you're doing. Now, I've had 2 conversations just in the last week where like the commodification, like you're making money or you would like to make money off of everything you do. You almost can't sit still. You can't have a hobby without making money from it. And I was talking to my mother, and my mom is so fucking cute. She has been taking art classes. And she had painted this painting for Nina. It's like hanging on her wall. It's like, I don't know if you've ever been in Nina's room. Oh, shit. That little dog painting in the corner. Yeah. That my mom painted that. Okay, I'm knocking everything over because I'm getting pissed off. My mom painted that, so cute. And she's been taking art classes. She calls me the other day and she's like, what does it mean when you subscribe? I'm like, what?
So
what are you subscribing to? She's like, well, there's this YouTube and I'm taking classes, and like, how do I get the classes? I was like, well, if you're subscribing, then you're following them and you can just get onto their page, and usually it'll just pop up on your feed, like if you're subscribed to them. And she's like, oh, okay, but like, how do I get the classes? I'm like, you just have to click on the classes, yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've been doing my painting thing, and I like these online classes that I'm taking, and I'm doing the YouTubes, and I'm doing all this, and it's like just really a shame that I can't make any money off of it. I was like, what? What do you mean? And she's like, well, it just takes up a lot of my time. Now, my mother's retired.
Yeah.
My mother has a pension. My mother has a 401k. My mother has...
Your mom is chilling.
Her Roth IRA. My mom, like, made sure that she was good for retirement.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you don't need the money. That's the first thing that I think. But I'm like, Mom, if it's something that you enjoy, why do you have to make money off of it?
Yeah, because it's just.
And she's like, well, it's like my time, and I just really wish that I could. And I'm like, I got like so like almost like sick for her. I'm like, and that's where we're at in terms of like life in this country. We have to we can't have any downtime. We can't do things just because we enjoy them. And I'm so bothered by that. I'm so bothered by like my mother thinking that she cannot just have a hobby just to have a hobby just because it makes her happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like my heart like broke. I'm like, no, Mom, if you enjoy it, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And it doesn't matter if you never make money. Like, I get what you're saying, but like no, this is not the way that we should be. And then I had another conversation because, I sing in a cover band, obviously, and someone asked me like, well, how much do you make? And I like told him. He's like, you should be making more than that. And I was like, Well, I mean, I guess I get what you're saying because, there's setting up, there's breaking down. We have rehearsal time, like all of this. He's like, they're not just paying for the 3 hours that you're playing, they're paying for the rehearsal time and they're
Yeah,
paying for
blah
this.
blah blah.
I'm
But
like,
for you, it's like different. You're like, the money's a bonus. I'm doing this for fun.
that's what I said. I said, listen, I am not a professional musician that's trying to make a living off of playing cover band songs. Like
Yeah, yeah,
this, and I'm lucky that all the guys that I'm in the band with are the same. We do it
yeah,
because we're having fun.
yeah,
We love to play together. We love playing out. It's a fun time. When we practice, we have beers and we
yeah,
bullshit in the basement and we like
yeah,
sing and like I've been with these guys now. It'll be for 10 years. So
yeah,
like I these guys are like my family. Like I'm like, I get what you're saying. And maybe, I mean, I totally agree that live music and people that are doing this, trying to hustle and make a living doing this, they should get paid more.
For sure.
If that's their thing and that's what they're doing. But I
Mhm.
don't want to hustle and grind because then I'll get pissed off and then I won't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. For once your hobby becomes like a full-time job, that's where it gets like not
No.
enjoyable anymore.
But I think that's where it is. So that, my friend, is my Roman Empire where I get so annoyed, like, and then just like the wage gaps, the wealth inequality, like
Yeah.
the fact that people are getting priced out of their apartments, like people can't
Yeah.
afford
No,
rent, and
well, where we're at right now economically is, I don't think, I mean, other than the recession, I don't remember any, like, and for as long as I've been alive, I only can remember the recession. And I remember everybody felt the recession hit. And I'm feeling that again this time around.
they're trying to say that they're not saying that it's a recession. They're refraining from saying that because people are going to start panicking.
Yeah.
But that's exactly where we are, and the way of life, the way that that is going, it's not sustainable. It's simply not sustainable. It's
No.
not, and it's just people should be more angry.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not going to change. That's the problem. Because we can be angry. We could be like, oh, how could we fix this? How could we fix this?
We need to get rid of
How can
everyone
we fix this?
over the age of 70 in
Office
the get rid of all of them and
Literally,
replace
bye.
them.
But
And
it's not
honestly,
gonna, but that's not going to happen.
and
You know what
stop
I mean?
the Senate from paying. They pay like for life. Like if you're in
Yeah,
the Senate
literally.
or whatever,
Mhm.
you get paid for life.
Literally, and they're all crooked.
And they're allowed to buy stocks, and they're allowed
Yep.
to inside trade,
Yep.
and they're allowed to do all this shit.
Yep.
Like, make it all illegal.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I think there needs to be like a new constitution written. You know how like we had like a New Testament
Not the New Testament.
to like, kind of coincide with like modern times or back then. We need a new constitution.
We definitely
times-
need
Times
something.
have changed, but I don't know. I still have like this inkling that Elon Musk is gonna like, he's like watching it all unfold, and he's like, he, stupid people. I'm gonna come take over everything. He's like the evil villain.
They said he can't be stopped.
He can't be stopped.
He can't be stopped. Who's going to stop
That's
him?
interesting. You're a Roman Empire. I mean, I could have guessed that one though.
You know
For-
what's so
for
funny? I
sure.
didn't think about it until I was like, oh, wait, listen to me on all of the podcast episodes getting pissed off about it. That's my Roman Empire. And then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of afterlife.
Yeah, literally.
That's just like a little sprinkle.
While I'm here, I'm pissed, but when I die, I probably come back, which is even worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it'll be everyone's problem when I come back.
Yeah.
Everyone. Take over the whole world. Take over the universe.
The day I meet my guardian angel, she'll be like, oh, God. But I asked somebody what their Roman Empire was. And I think he was like a little confused. And I was like, do you think about the Roman Empire? Right. And his response was actually really interesting. And I really want to talk about it because I said, do you think about the Roman Empire every day? He said, no, but definitely often. The Roman Empire had broken into two sides right before it fell, which weakened them against the Germanic tribes that were invading. Makes me think of how polarized the U.S. is and how divisive things are and the parallels between the two seemingly invincible powers, parentheses, the U.S. and the Roman Empire. So like the Roman Empire split into two before it fell because the Germans were invading, but then these dumbasses were fighting each other.
Yep.
And that's when the Germans were like, And that's why they fell.
That's why we're
because
prime right now.
Because they weakened themselves because they were fighting amongst themselves. So he was saying, like, yeah, I think about it too often because that's what's happening in America.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like,
history is
oh,
repeating itself.
literally.
We are doomed to repeat history until we fucking learn and change this. But nobody's changing. It's so,
No.
and when some shit's going to go down, we don't know exactly who's going to come for us, but people are going to come for us.
I feel like in like past lives, is all women that controlled everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think men were in charge of anything. And I think that's why in like the next life or whatever, however you want to look at it, that's why it's all men controlling, because they're like, the women did it. It's our turn. And look, you guys suck.
You guys don't know what you're doing.
No. Cleopatra is rolling in her tomb.
No.
She's like, you stupid ass men. Don't know what you're doing.
They don't, though.
I should think about Cleopatra more often.
And Nefertiti and
Yeah.
you know what? Queen. Absolutely.
Literal queens.
So there are some kind of funny answers as well. To the what is your Roman Empire question. One of them is, my Roman Empire is different ways to cook potatoes. And honestly, I feel that.
There are so many ways to
cook potatoes.
Yeah. It's, what do I call it? I call it the hoe.
Not the hoe.
It goes with everything.
The potato hoe.
And it comes in different shapes and forms. Like you can get it as a French fry. You can get it as mashed.
Yep.
Waffle.
Yeah.
Tater tot.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Or
like,
when you like do the shavings, when you make the hash browns.
Yes.
Baked potatoes.
Baked potatoes.
The twice baked potatoes.
The spiral potatoes. The smashed, you know, when you like smash the small ones.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so crispy and they're so amazing. I feel this one in my
This
heart.
is a good one. You know what? We need to go back to the Big E this year and eat all the potatoes. You know
I
those like
would
spiral
love
potatoes
that.
on the stick?
Yes.
And you're like gnawing on the side of it.
Yeah. Like, it's ruthless at the Big E.
There's
Like,
so
you
many
could-
potatoes.
You could do whatever you want and no one's judging. You could be sitting on the side of the road, stuffing your face with a pickle and then gnawing on a stick with a potato on it. No one cares.
Or the corn.
Yeah, the corn.
But we were just talking about potatoes. But yeah, so that's a good one. Pompeii.
Okay. Interesting.
That's a good one. Can you imagine that shit? Even if a guy was jerking off, he would stay like that position for the rest of eternity because the volcano exploding lives rent free in my mind. Can you imagine? Like
Or you were in the middle of having sex and you just got stuck like that? I think you knew what was happening. It wasn't instant. I don't think it was instant.
I mean, I think it was pretty instant, right? I thought that was the whole. Is that the conspiracy theory we should go do next? Pompeii?
It's not a conspiracy. It's a real thing. It actually happened.
Yeah, but like, was it instant? How could you even tell? How do you know?
How do we know?
How do you know they
How
didn't
would we
suffer
know?
horribly?
Like, even when they talk about Atlantis, I'm like, how the fuck do you know? It's so far down. It's so far under the water. That's going to be California in like 10 years.
I'm scared.
California's going to be Atlantis. But continue.
My Roman Empire is thinking about my toenails.
I don't like that. I don't like
For
that.
some reason, I just like to look at my toenails.
Like, are they like done? Are they? Do you make money off of your feet?
I don't know. Maybe I should look at her.
If you make money off of your feet, I would think about my feet all the time too, and be like, you guys do a great job.
She just said her toenails.
Okay, just the nails.
You
That
think
is
they're like
so
funky and
strange.
weird and maybe have a
Or
fungus?
they're literally stunning. And she's like, I can't stop thinking about them because they're so pretty.
because
Good
they're
for you,
so
girl.
amazing.
Who's your nail tech? But continue.
Ooh. Marie Antoinette.
Who was Marie Antoinette?
Isn't she the one that said, let them eat cake?
Yeah, but like, what did she do? Who is she?
I got to be honest. I don't know.
Me either. Next.
Someone's going to get mad and be like, y'all don't got Google? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to do that in the middle of recording.
No,
I'm just
that's
reading. I'm
annoying.
reading answers that people are giving
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I was always just curious as to know who that was because I'm like, I could easily Google it.
Is she the one with the powdered wig?
Yes. I don't know. I have no idea who she is, but continue.
Ted Bundy.
Ew.
I don't know if he would be my Roman Empire, but like,
No. Is he your Roman Empire because you idolize this person? Because there's like people who like idolize serial killers.
well, they want to like marry them and also want to be them.
Yeah.
That's why they get copycat killers.
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, think about it. Ted Bundy was like, I mean, they said he was a good-looking man. I saw his picture. He was not
was
that
not.
good-looking,
Well, I
and he
think
was
for-
short
I think for back then, he was considered good looking.
with the hair, with the stupid haircut.
He was charming. I think that's what made people think he's attractive. You know, when you like see somebody who's like average looking, but their personality makes them like
You said that does nothing for you.
appear better. You know what I mean? Oh, it doesn't do anything for me.
I know.
But there are some times where I look at someone and be like, he's not cute, and they're like,
But he's really
yeah,
nice.
but like his personality just makes him so good looking, or vice versa. Like her personality makes her so good looking. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I don't know.
So people probably looked at him and was like, he's so charming. He's so good looking.
I think it's just easy for people like us, like, because we're good looking and also have great personalities. It's like we just
Yeah.
don't understand.
No, I'm like,
We just don't understand the struggle for other people.
I don't get it. I hope, I wish you well. Just
Oh, yeah. Good luck, love.
kidding. Good luck in all of your endeavors.
Dinosaurs roaming the earth.
Okay, you know that for some reason my brain blocks that out.
Really?
Yeah, like for some reason I'm like, no, that never happened. Because then when I start thinking about that, it fucks with me. So I'm like, okay, so it was like the dinosaurs, right?
And then they
like
died.
then we have all like the cities and the countries that are underwater or covered in volcanic ash or sand or buried somewhere under whatever. What's gonna happen to us? You know what I mean? If this has been a constant thing on Earth, what's gonna happen to us?
I'm hoping that I won't be alive for that.
No.
I hope I won't be alive for the zombie apocalypse. I
No.
hope that I won't be alive for whatever new asteroid's going to come our way.
No.
Whatever nuclear situation's going to happen. I just hope I'm
But yeah,
dead.
every time I hear about the dinosaurs, I just think of it as like a fictional thing. I forget that it's a real thing.
Oh, yeah, they were
it
real.
was real.
They were real and
Oh,
they
no.
were here.
They were real, and that's not fictional. Sorry.
You know, I was actually talking to my trainer today. I was telling him about this episode and like how we're recording it or whatever. And I was like, "What's yours?" He's like, "I don't know what my Roman Empire is." But then we start talking about like I tell him what mine is, and like we're just talking. Bless you. And he was like, he's like, something that I do think about is that past the North and the South Pole, it's all black. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, like there's no photographs past the North and South Pole. And I started laughing and I was like, oh, well, that's because you got the ice wall and that's where the dome ends, right? That's where the dome ends. He was like, yeah. He's like, and on the other side, that's where the government's fighting the dinosaurs. I was like,
You're like, you lost me.
I mean,
You're like, I was with you. Wait, the dome?
you never heard that?
Oh, like the flat earthers?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah,
we're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like we're in a dome.
Yeah.
And
It's like a disc, and there's a dome
yeah,
over
and the
it.
North and the
yeah.
South poles, you can't go past whatever spot. And they're saying it's because they have that like blue ice and you can't like touch it. And there's like research facilities down like in Antarctica
Mm-hmm.
and I guess the South Pole or whatever. And you're not allowed to go past a certain point.
Interesting.
So he was
That's
like,
where they're hiding the aliens.
or the dinosaurs.
Or
He said that's where the government's fighting the dinosaurs off.
and now they're all melting
We're done. Dinosaurs and aliens coming for us.
in the zombie apocalypse.
Forget it.
This
That's
is
why I
gonna
learned how
be
to
a
shoot.
real freak show.
That's why I'm learning how to shoot a gun. Going to church and
I
shooting
don't-
guns. I'm a real American. My God.
The dinosaur is gonna look at you and be like, "Fuck you and your gun."
Yeah. So she was like, "It's a safety."
But I hope God saves you. Anyway.
Oh. Actually, that's kind of it. There's nothing else that's funny. Do you know one of this question I feel like was hard for a lot of people.
Well, because it's something that has never come out of your mouth, right? Because it lives in your head. Like when people asked men, what do you think about the Roman Empire? And we were all shocked because
Yeah.
it lives. No man has ever been like, hey man, do you think about the Roman Empire every day? And they're like, bro, yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it sits in your head. You're like, I've never heard of anybody else thinking about it. You know what I mean? So it's not like, I don't know. It's not something that's like talked about, or I don't know. Like even when you asked me, it took me all week to really like jot down my thoughts. I'm like, wow, I thought about that thought about that again on Tuesday. I
Yeah.
thought about that again on Wednesday. I'm like, I've been thinking about the afterlife a little too often. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I think my other Roman Empire is, I think about how American food is just genuinely trying to kill us. Like, Americans with their food kills us, and I can't seem to wrap my head around how like 90% of our food is illegal in other countries, but it's not illegal here.
Well,
I think about that a little too often too.
that's actually part of the capitalist design. I
Keep
mean,
everybody sick.
because that's how you make more money in other
Big pharma.
Hello, I mean, it's funny, but it's not,
Yeah.
because it's part of the wheel. It's part of the wheel to keep the people who are not in the top percent,
Mm-hmm.
keep them sick,
Stupid.
and stupid and struggling.
Yeah, but that's literally, that's how it always was, right? Like I look at it like even with the royal family, going back to the royal family, like you'll never be as smart as us, you'll never be as rich as us, you'll never be as healthy as us, you'll never be us.
That's by design.
Yeah, literally, it is literally
It's by design. Like they do that because they don't want us to take over,
No,
and that's that. But that's all of the capitalist mentality. Like, you have to keep people so they're desperate enough to keep working for the machine.
literally.
And that's why people that were working at Dunkin' Donuts and they can't afford food and they're on food stamps, because they have to get those. They have to get the food that is not good for them. I know it's like it's a wheel. It's like
Yeah.
it keeps going around and
Right,
around.
right,
It's
right.
like a whole thing, and I can't even get my thoughts out properly because I'm getting annoyed about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I get it. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think you've definitely had me think in different ways, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. I think when it comes to like the Roman Empire specifically, like that is when that whole TikTok started coming about, and I was just like, I really wish I paid more attention in school.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I really wish that I paid a little bit more attention in school, because like the guy that I was telling you that said like, oh, you know, they broke into two and that's how they fell, and I was like, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I had to go and like look it up, because I was
Yep.
like, wow, there's so much that I don't know about, and I was like, okay, I can see parallels where men can think about the Roman Empire so often, right? Like, there's so many, like, even if you're in a sense of like working out, right? People like idolized these physiques.
yeah.
Just the physiques alone, like people like idolized them, or like Greek gods, you know what I mean? People like idolized them. They were like, wow, like, you know, side note, do you ever like look at those statues of like the Greek gods and you're like,
No.
how do you know they actually look like that? You know what I mean?
You know,
I'm like, what if they were frumpy? You're
I
lying.
think that there probably were some people, but there were ones that were built and jacked. And actually, my trainer again was telling me, he's like, Plato, when he used to like debate with people, he's like, he was really smart, but he was also jacked.
Mhm.
So like
he was a double threat.
so he would like argue with people, and whoever he was arguing with would be like, no, you're wrong. And he'd be like, really, bro? And he would flex. You think I'm wrong now?
Yeah,
and they'd be like, they'd be like, no, you're good.
I'm like, please don't beat me up.
He would like pummel people that
Yeah.
like didn't agree with him.
That's
So not only
crazy.
was he smart, he was also like
Violent?
like a bully.
Literally, he's like, you don't believe me? I'm gonna beat your ass.
Fuck you up, bro.
He grew up and was like, I'm gonna be jacked.
That's exactly what
I'm
that's what
gonna
he-
be jacked.
But he used to flex, like actually flex on people, not just like with words, just
yeah.
actually flex the
I
muscles.
fucking love that.
Like we'd be like, ugh.
If you see a guy do that today, imagine watching a guy do that today, where you're like in the middle of arguing with him and you're like, you're wrong, and he starts flexing. He's like, am I wrong now? And I'm like, no, you just look like a fucking idiot.
Doesn't he just laugh in
You're
someone's
wrong
face?
and
You
stupid.
fucking look like an idiot right now.
You're wrong and you look like an idiot.
I'm dead.
I'm fucking dead.
I see all these things that I learned just by asking questions. You know, when you start asking the most
Honestly.
random questions and people like really spill their guts to you, that's my favorite.
I asked my best friend, I was like, oh, question, like, what's your Roman Empire? She goes, huh? I was like, what's your Roman Empire? She's like, what does that mean? And I was like, you know, like the thing that you think about all the time. She's like, I don't. And I was like, what do you think about?
Yeah.
She's like, I think about what I have to do today and what needs to get done tomorrow, and that's it. Like, I think about the task at hand. And I looked at her, I go, your job sucks, bro. I was like, your fucking job sucks. Because her whole life is consumed with work that she has no time to think about anything else. What? And I looked at her, I go, there is something there. You got to think about it. And she's like, nope, nope. I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's so interesting though, like, especially the people like closest to me, when I get to like ask these like really random questions whenever we're doing like an episode on something and their answers, I'm like, whoa. Whoa. You know what's a cool game? My cousin introduced me to it. It was called On the Spectrum.
Okay.
So it's a game and you got to play it with like a group of people. And it's on a scale of most definitely to absolutely not.
Okay.
Right. And I think there's 4 different ones, like in the middle, kinda, and then, the extreme polar opposites. Right.
Yeah.
And I ask a question, something really like there were some really cool questions, like, do you believe in afterlife? You know what I mean? Just like a simple question like that.
Yeah.
And I have to guess what everybody is going to guess.
Oh.
I have to guess what I think everybody's going to guess. And then after I guess, everybody has to put their piece on what they actually guess. And seeing how different everybody thinks, you're like, whoa. Because like I grew up with these people. I'm like, I never knew that you thought like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes these questions come up and I'm like, that's really interesting. Like whenever I get to talk to people and like it gets to tap in their head, even if I see them all the time, I'm like, huh, interesting. I never knew that your thought process was like that or whatever.
But can it be polarizing? Like, would somebody flip a table off an answer?
Not with my family members. We couldn't.
But you know
care
how
less.
people could get upset about some shit.
The only time my family members get upset is if we're playing like a game. Like if somebody cheats during Uno, there's words exchanged. And that actually happened recently.
Oh, God. How do you even cheat?
By the
Uno?
way, you can't stack +2s.
Yeah, no. Uno actually tweeted that.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Oh, I know. And it happened right after we fought about it. Like literally 2 days after we fought about it, it was tweeted. So like stuff like that, or like cornhole, where I was like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. We'll get competitive when it comes to like sports and stuff. But when it comes to, I don't know, stuff like that, there was one, it was like you consume more water than solids throughout the day, even when you're consuming food. I don't know how the exact wording was, but like for me, I was like, no, that's not true, right? You're not. And then that was polar, like the pieces were all over the place. And 2 of my cousins were like, are you fucking stupid? Like, what are you talking about? And then they were trying to talk about how much water content is in food.
Oh.
My brain didn't go there, bitch. My brain didn't
I was
go
just
there,
thinking,
bitch.
do I drink more water than food?
No, it's
I
like
eat more food.
Your food actually has a lot of water content, which I don't know.
I don't know
didn't think
shit.
about it.
I don't know shit about fuck, you guys. I really don't.
No.
We have anything else? This is a short one.
Yeah, this is actually we're good. We're hitting an hour.
Okay. All right, I guess we can stop there then.
We are officially on YouTube, guys.
Oh, yeah. So now if you go on to YouTube and you subscribe to us, there's actually going to be bonus minutes.
Yes. So
on
there's
the
a lot that I
episodes.
cut out of episodes. And in the videos on YouTube, I'm gonna keep them in.
Yeah.
because
We should
fuck
keep
it.
bloopers, keep
For sure.
funny shit that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be posting past episodes as well. Unfortunately, guys, I did lose the 24th episode.
In its entirety.
And I know, you listen to a lot of podcasts and they've said that before. You've heard it before where they're like, we interviewed so-and-so and we lost the file. So it happens, but I'm definitely crossing my T's, dotting my I's. It's never going to happen again. Everybody relax. But that was Amelia Earhart one. You will not find that on YouTube. But I think it's like 3 prior to that or 2 prior to that will be up on YouTube. So you can go back and watch them. They are funny. But yeah, we will be on YouTube. We're on Spotify, on Apple Music, on
Amazon.
Instagram.
Oh, we're on Amazon too.
Yes. On Instagram, on TikTok. Literally, we're everywhere. We're in your mouth.
Yeah, just follow us on TheDL.pod on all the socials.
Yes.
And is it the same for YouTube?
Yeah, on the DL.
Yeah, on the DL. Check us out. and then subscribe, because then it pushes us up. Like when
Yeah.
people start searching for On the DL,
Yep.
now we're the first one on the page for Spotify and for Apple Music. So everyone that's followed and given us a
And
5-star review,
yes,
thank you
thank
so much. It really does help. I didn't know, but we're now
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
we're actually the first one on the first page
Yeah, as
when
soon
you
as
search On the DL now, which
like
is
even
awesome.
while you start typing it, our name comes up,
And then
and
you'll
it's kind of
see
cool.
our little bubble faces.
Yeah, our bubble faces. We have some really cool episodes coming up in the next month. We will be doing another conspiracy episode for our conspiracy series. We're going to do one a month. So make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss that. And those are fun to watch as well. So make sure you do subscribe to us. And we have we do have a St. Patrick's Day episode coming up as well. So that'll be fun.
I think I'm going to dress up like a little
leprechaun?
leprechaun. Yeah.
That'd be cute. I think I'm going to dress up in just green because that's probably all I got. I'll probably wear like something like
Like a little hat.
4-leaf clover.
Okay, not the
little
4-leaf
dingly
clovers.
things, you know what I mean?
All right, I think that's it. Thank you for hanging out with us. See you next time.
Until next time.
Okay.
Bye.